Yay, channel news. um, I'm still a little phlegmy, so hopefully the sound is okay. I'm going to hold the microphone, the little fuzzy microphone. That way, if I cough, I can put it in the distance. Maybe that'll work. Anyway, channel news. First off, I do these so that people can see what I look like. Uh, most napping videos, you don't see the napper. My name is Patrick. It's not Jack, although people call me Jack because of the channel name. The channel name is Jack Crafty, but my name is Patrick. I've got over 1,900 videos. If you want to see something, or if you think I might have covered a topic, just type in a search for Jack Crafty and whatever you're looking for. I might have done a video on the topic. And if I haven't, you can request video topics in the comment section. Okay. Speaking of comments, the auctions on this channel are going to change slightly. I'm going to change the rules a little bit. And instead of announcing the winners with a cut and paste comment, I'm just going to put a heart on your winning bid. One of those heart likes. Apparently, YouTube is cracking down on cut and paste comments. So if I post more than two of the same exact comment or very close to the same comment, it gives me a warning because of their harassment and bullying policies. Apparently, it looks like I'm harassing the people in the comment section. Maybe I am. Maybe they don't like the auction. Anyway, so I won't put comments because what it does is it prevents me from commenting for 24 hours anywhere on YouTube. So I'm just going to put a heart on the winning bid. Okay, and then if you're new, you'll have to email me, but I'll make that clear in my new cheat notes. I got to make some new cheat notes. And I described the auction briefly in the auction video, but there's a better description in the description box of the auction. But I'll put the change in the description box, but also in my cheat notes. Okay, so you just have to email me. It won't say please email me, but you'll have to figure that out when I put the little heart on the winning bid. That way I don't have to comment, cut and paste comments. That gets me into trouble. I've looked into appealing these kind of things, but there's no appeals process for the 24-hour prohibition on commenting. They just do it. Okay. So I'll put a heart on the winning bid, and I already covered that. I already covered all that. Okay. All right, next topic. If the auctions on YouTube here on this channel get too glitchy or somehow become unreliable or not possible, I'll do my auctions on X Twitter. They do them just like I do them on YouTube. They do them on Twitter all the time in the comment section. You see all these bids in the comment section in X Twitter. So now I didn't get the idea from there, but I looked it up after I started doing my auctions. I looked it up and I see people are doing it over there, but they do a lot of times something called a soft closing on the auction, which means they announce a closing time, but they wait a little while after the closing time to make sure that no one is sniping. And if there's more bids coming in, they'll just wait until the bids die off. And there's like 3 minutes or more between bids, and then they'll just announce a winner. That's a soft closing, when it's not exactly closing at a precise time. It's not closing exactly at a precise time. Now, I do a hard closing at 9 p.m. Eastern. I prefer that hard closing because it saves me time and it saves everybody time, because they know who's the winner at that time. And you can pretty much see your status within 20 minutes of the end of the auction. Whereas if I have a soft closing, people keep bidding and bidding, and then they keep arguing, and they might send me emails, and they say, I don't want to keep bidding. I just want to buy this thing. Whatever The other guy bids, I'm going to bid 10% higher. And if I get into that situation, it wastes time. I mean, I might make a lot more money, but it just wastes time. I'd rather not waste time. Okay. Uh, all right, changing the subject. I'll be doing a lot more obsidian and glass knapping videos. Now, I did this last night when I was tired. And again, I'm tired again tonight. I didn't get to sleep until 2:30 a.m. because of my dad. He gets in these moods where he wakes up at all hours. Okay. And I can't sleep. I sleep in the same room. It's a small little house, so I can't avoid hearing the noises and stuff. I'm going to be doing more obsidian videos. I worked on this last night, but I was tired, so I kind of goofed it up a little bit. I'll have to thin it way down. That's really bad, huh? Yeah, people like to see it when it gets thinned down, but it's starting to get a little dip in there right there. That I said, you know what? I gotta stop for the night. I'll try to figure out how to get better at not crushing the edges. Another thing is I gotta get better at not crushing edges. I gotta get better at not scooping out big flakes. But this is really nice material. I did skin off a lot of the gold sheen, but I got the flakes. The sun just went behind a bunch of rain clouds. It may start raining on us. In that case, I'll just cut the video short. You can't see, but there's gold sheen in these flakes. They're a little bit curved, but I will be knapping these flakes. I think I can get, maybe not from this one. Well, I can get a little bitty one, but I'm gonna nap these two on video as well as finishing this one up. And I'll be doing more obsidian videos. I have to get good at obsidian. It's going to be one of the easier materials to get in the future, along with glass. So it's very worthwhile for me to get better at this. Oh, and I got my soup. I'm going to discontinue these soup and smokes videos for now. No soup and smoke videos, soups and smokes videos until further notice. I'm just going to incorporate that into my channel news. All right, what is the soup of the day? It's just bouillon. It's this bouillon here. I showed it already. The tomato bouillon with chicken. They got a lot of good stuff here in Vermont as far as making soups. So I'm going to be trying different bouillon. That's the easiest for me to do. And then I'll try other things. Bone broth from different meats and stuff. Okay. And the smokes, I'm going to cut way back. I might do one a month on this particular channel news video. I'll incorporate everything together. Okay. Let's see. I might put a little bird or a little animal on the side like I usually do for the smokes videos with the question mark. I might do that for the news videos. In fact, I probably will. I like putting a little animal on the side here. Is it on this side? I think it is on this side. Yeah. Okay. Somebody asked me, changing the subject again. Somebody asked me, where do we get asphaltum if you want to recreate knives, hafted knives or hafted points with asphaltum glue? And the only place that I can reliably tell you that you can get asphaltum is from outfits that sell something called gilsonite. Gilsonite, Gilsonite, gilsonite powder. Okay. Another common hafting thing, especially in Europe, hafting glue, especially in Europe, is birch tar. I'll be making birch tar as well, but For asphaltum, which is also a very popular thing, especially in the Americas, you get gilsonite, which is powdered asphaltum, but it's mined out of the ground. It's not from the ocean. It's not floating. It wasn't a floaty that ended up on a beach. Okay, it's mined out of the ground. It's a mineral, so it is flammable. Yes, it can be processed into petroleum products, I think. But anyway, they use it mainly. They used to use it mainly for inks and paints as a pigment. I'm pretty sure, especially for newspapers. Anyway, when you heat up the gilsonite, it does melt, but it bubbles a lot. So I have to add something in with it. So what I do is I put a bunch of gilsonite powder in a container, heat it up at low heat, just enough to get it melting and bubbling, and get at least a half inch at the bottom of the container, melted, and let it sit and melt for at low heat for like 2 hours, and it'll eventually it won't be bubbly as much, and then you add in the extra ingredients. So slow simmer it, so to speak, for 1 or 2 hours until it stops bubbling so much, and then add the other ingredients. You can add whatever other hot melt there is available. You can even add, clear glue sticks if you want, but I add gum base or pine pitch or some other type of gum that I get from certain trees in the springtime. If you cut the tree in the winter, like cut branches in the winter, in the spring it'll heal itself by extruding this special kind of sap that's very gooey. You take that spring sap and you can mix it with the asphaltum. Of course, that sap from the trees is water based unless it's a pine or something like that, but that's a different category. The gum, like guar gum and other non-pine saps, can be mixed with asphaltum to make it more of a glue. Because once that asphaltum or gilsonite cools, if you don't mix anything with it, it's very brittle. It'll break apart just like a piece of coal. You know, it's very, very brittle, and it doesn't grab the item that you're hafting. It just snaps away from the item. It doesn't glue it. It's not sticky. Now you add something else into it to make it sticky and more like glue, and it will hold better. It doesn't hold perfectly, especially in cold weather. I'll work on different formulas, but for now, the best formula I've come up with is half gum base, which is used for chewing gum. You can even buy chewing gum at the supermarket and drop it in there, half and half the melted gilsonite and chewing gum, and that'll give you a good glue that's pretty close to being natural, what they used to use back in the day. Okay, hope that wasn't too spastic an explanation. Um, Now, if you just want to go to the hardware store or just want to buy something off the shelf, you can get black hot melt glue as long as your hardware store is not lame. If your hardware store is lame and they never heard of black hot melt glue, you're gonna have to order it off. You're gonna have to order it off an online site, which is not hard, right? But some people, they don't like to order off the internet because they don't like uh, using their card or whatever, or they don't have a permanent address, or they'd rather get something natural, or they just rather walk into the store and get it. They don't have to. They don't have to wait. They may have a job where they move around everywhere, so they can't reliably be there when the mail comes. So they just rather walk into a store and get it, and then keep it in a kit or something, because they're very mobile, right? I've had all kinds of questions about how do I just get it in a store and walk out with it. Yeah. What do you look for? What's it called? Who do you have to talk to? Yada, yada, yada. Where is it sold? What stores carry it? Yada, yada. So I will focus on that aspect when it comes to telling you what you can buy, uh, either to substitute for natural things or they're actually natural. Okay? So I had a question on that. It's a good question on how to get asphaltum because I thought it'd be easy. Just go to the store and buy roofing tar. As an example, go into the hardware store and get a jar of roofing tar. But that contains all kinds of modern ingredients. Uh, it contains these softeners, not softeners, things that make it sticky and more runny and uh, melt at higher temperatures and freeze resistance and all kinds of weird stuff. It's got a bunch of other ingredients that are not natural. Okay. What about mixing petroleum jelly with it? I haven't had much success with that, although I think a little bit might help. Yeah. Why didn't I have success? I put too much. I think it just got kind of pasty. It didn't harden up. Okay. All right. What else can I talk about on channel news? Funny, I should ask. I've got another page full of stuff, but I don't want to talk about some of this. It's some of it's kind of difficult to talk about on the fly. I need technical information. Um, I got a note here to talk about ceremonial items. Yeah, a lot of people want to see parallel flaking on stuff like this. Now, parallel flaking, in my opinion, is wasteful in two ways. One, it takes a lot of time, both in making the item and in learning how to do it. And two, it's wasteful in material because not all material is conducive to those long flakes. So you've got to look around for the material. And then once you get it, if you mess up the material, like if it's too narrow or if it's too wide or if it's too thin, if something's wrong with your preform, you're not going to get the parallel flakes you want. Now, these days, parallel flaking is done mainly by guys who flake over grind. They grind the preform perfectly shaped first, and then they run the parallel flakes. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Now, if you want to do it, quote unquote, the old way, you've still got to prepare the surface to be very, very consistent. And then you can run the flakes. And usually what that takes is several passes of flakes that are very consistent. Now, if you mess up anywhere in that process, you're not going to get a consistent pattern. So you may just go, next piece, yeah, this is no good. And then you get another piece and try to do the same thing. Now, you can still use a piece that is not fully parallel flaked and shoot it at an animal. Okay, so it's not wasted in that respect. But trying to get the surface perfect on both sides may cause you to break the whole piece. Okay? Because you can go with the flow and have a successful piece much easier if you don't try to be excessively picky with it. The more picky you are with the surface, the higher the chances are to break it. And they do break just making the preform for one of those parallel flake things than making a preform for a random flaked thing that has lumps in it and step fractures and stuff. Okay? You're more successful if it looks crude than you will be if it looks perfectly parallel flaked. Okay, I hope that's clear. So it's wasteful in that respect. So I don't think it was an everyday thing. Okay, now in some cases it may be a sharpening technique. Okay, but there's more than one way to sharpen a point. So that's a weak kind of argument for the consistent parallel flaking. The argument that it's a sharpening technique. There's more than just that type of technique for sharpening. You can do short flakes, as in beveling, which I think is a lot more common than the parallel flaking. That makes more sense, short parallel flakes, because then you don't risk breaking the whole piece because it has to be perfect. If you want to try, if it has to be perfect and you're looking at it and you go, oh, there's a lump there, I need to get rid of that lump and then break the whole thing in half, you've wasted it. But if you didn't have to get rid of that lump because it doesn't matter, I can just still shoot it. It didn't break, did it? Okay. So I think that the moral of the story is these parallel flaked items tend to be more ceremonial or a symbol of wealth or a symbol of skill or a pattern that everyone follows or something to aspire to and not used for cutting unless it's a ceremonial type of cutting. What types of ceremonial cuttings are there? Or there's sacrifices. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But there's also umbilical cord cuttings. There's surgery. Yeah, they did perform surgery back in the day, especially skin surgery, and also the removal of arrowheads from battles. You may have a special tool that looks special. Who knows? But I don't think they were used for everyday things. Now you might say, well, I saw like little arrowheads with lots of parallel flaking. What about those? Well, still, you still risk breaking them at that, even the little ones. So if you make a crude little one and a perfectly parallel flake little one, which has the higher chance of being broken in manufacture? It's the one that's more fancy. Now, you could be the kind of person that overcompensates for everything, which there is. There's a lot of people like that. You may only want to make stuff in an overcompensated way, and therefore you are the type that will always make parallel flaked items. Back in the day, and people will look at you and go, why do you spend so much time and waste so much material when you don't have to? And the reply is, I can't help it. I got to do it that way. I gotta. Just got to. That could be it too. Okay? But in my opinion, they were mostly not used for cutting, unless it's ceremonial cutting. Okay, that's the moral of the story. All right, so yeah, I'm going to be doing some other stuff too coming up. I got plans for doing short bows first, self bows, sinew back bows, but short bows first. I didn't bring my bows out to show you during the news. Dang it. They're not that, they're self bows, right? One is Osage and one is elm, but they're not short. I want to make a short bow. I mean, they're medium size. They're not really long and they're not really short. I will start making short bows, which is 48 inches and under. I classify short bows as 4 feet and under. Okay? Between 3 and 4 feet. Anything less than 3 feet starts getting way too short. The draw is only like 16 inches or so. I'm going to be napping other types of tools like adze blades and stuff. In addition to these kinds of things where they're knives or points. I got to make some new playlists. Yeah. Let's see. I got to be doing a lot of back orders. I still haven't caught up with my back orders. So the amount of videos may decrease slightly. Hopefully not. I'll do videos when I'm tired just to make a video. Yeah. Even if it might not come out all that great. I can increase my video production if I nap on video when I'm tired. So yeah, if I wait until I've got plenty of rest, I only do maybe 2 or 3 videos a week. Napping videos. Yeah. Or none. That wouldn't be good. Oh yeah, I went over the concept of just walking into the store and getting your materials. Not only the glues like the gilsonite and all kinds of stuff. Not only the glues made from gilsonite and that kind of stuff. I don't know if you can buy gilsonite at the hardware store. You probably had to order that online. But you can get other stuff at the hardware store to make primitive items, and I'll be getting into that too. And the grocery stores and department stores, and there's substitutes for obsidian. You know, you can get black glass at Hobby Lobby, the thin stuff to make, arrowheads for arrows, and other types of glass. From the stained glass section at Hobby Lobby, you can get various different colors and stuff that look like stone or obsidian. They don't look like stone. They might look like heat treated stone. Some of the stained glass has swirly patterns in it that resemble some stones, but it's very glossy, so it resembles heat treated stones or obsidians. As an example, you can buy slate at hardware stores, slate tiles, and grind them down into arrowheads, which were used in the past. You can buy bones at various places and grind those into arrowheads, which was done in the past. You know, that kind of thing. Now, the sinew is going to be difficult to get unless you order it online. I've never seen anything made of sinew that's long enough. I've seen little bits. They say it's sinew. I used to see those at the pet store, but I don't see those anymore. They used to sell tendons, but I think it's just too chewy for dogs, right? And they get it caught in their teeth or something. So I don't see those anymore. I used to see them, and I was at the time. This was many years ago. At the time, I think I told somebody, "Yeah, you can go get a pack of these little chews, and they're actually tendons." But I haven't seen those in years. But they're only like 4 inches long. It's difficult to make bowstrings or wrap fletchings with those. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go into what you can buy at the department stores and stuff. I think that's it. That's what's coming up on the agenda. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a couple new pads for napping. I'll show you how I make the pads. I need to do a bunch of drawings too, and then submit drawings somewhere that can be purchased. You know, like maybe 25 cents for a page that has a drawing of whatever, an arrow or a bow, or the specs on how I make them and what the dimensions are and stuff. I've looked into that many times in the past, and it's never really been a good thing to explore because the sites that sell PDFs, they were all lame, but they're getting a lot better. They're getting a lot better. Yeah. See, they were lame because they were so complicated to use. You had to go through all kinds of hoops in the past to get something posted up onto the website. But now they do everything for you. You just need to upload the PDF, and that's basically it. As long as you can produce a PDF at home, upload it, and they take care of everything else. There's no formatting. There's no added little bells and whistles, and that kind of thing. So I think I'll be doing that. But I didn't write it down, so I might forget. Yeah, and I didn't bring my pen. Okay, so my soup is cooling down. I didn't bring my hot plate. I got to bring my hot plate next time. It's still not that cold yet. It's like 60 right now. Right? Yeah, but it's perfect. But yeah, but as it starts getting cold, I'll have a little hot plate, and I got to get a cover. I got to get like a canopy, one of those pop-up canopies here, because I'm right behind the house. Yeah, this is the shady. This is the most shady spot, and that's my shop back there. You can see, kind of see in there. Right. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I'm gonna go and make another video for tonight, a little bit later on. All right. There you go.